everyone, how are you? My name is Chanel, and this is actually my first video starring myself, of course. I did use this channel before. I created it a while ago. It was for a travel, um, like a travel kind of niche. I thought that I was just going through a phase where I wanted to start YouTube, and I've watched like so many of these YouTubers, stating that you have to like find the perfect niche and so forth. And I had gone with travel because it was just, like beautiful, firstly, and I just felt like maybe people wanna like watch videos on travel, if I can say it like that. But I think maybe I was right, maybe I was wrong, but I had no views on this channel. The only views I had was myself watching it repeatedly, but it didn't work out. I think that's because I never put enough dedication and time into it, and I was just not consistent, you know. And I think that's very important if you want to grow on YouTube, or in fact in any aspect. However, I do believe that this channel could potentially inspire those of you that might be watching, because it's only going to be focusing on growth and everything to do with life in general, especially if you're in your 20s like me. I feel like these years is quite difficult, and the struggle is very real, and maybe many people don't often speak about this as much as they should. Anyways, I'm not gonna say too much. So let's get into the next chapter of this video. Okay, so my schooling career ended in 2020, a year that I will never forget. I'm sure that many of you out there still probably have memories of how difficult that time was for us due to the pandemic. And actually, before I do continue further, to those of you who lost any loved ones, my deepest condolences goes out to you. I personally have not lost anybody due to COVID. I actually lost my dad while I was in school in 2020, and it was very difficult losing a parent at a young age, and I'm sure many of you have been facing those same difficulties, especially during that time. I feel like the pandemic was a harsh reminder of of how short life is. Because sometimes we just take it for granted, and we take the people around us for granted, you know. And it just really taught me about kindness and compassion, towards people that I don't even know, So, in a way, the COVID-19 pandemic era was a terrible season for everyone, for the whole world. But it did teach humans how to behave like human beings, and how to really appreciate and take care of things around you. But yeah, anyways, that's 2020 for you, and that was my year. Okay, so looking back, 2020 was a challenging year for everyone. For me particularly, it was very difficult because I had lost my dad in the at the end of the year, during my final exams at school, and my mom was all alone, and she had no support, and I was in a different city due to school. It was a bad phase that I had to go through, as well as my mom at the time. It's always on my mind that I could have been there with her, or I could have done more, because when my dad was sick and he was in hospital, I wasn't there because I was busy with school, and fair enough, it was important, but he was as equally as important as school was. But I just couldn't be there with him. Yeah, that was the end of 2020 for me. So thereafter, beginning of 2021, I had just changed completely, but in the worst ways. I became so rebellious towards my mom. I didn't consider her feelings, her emotions. I didn't even appreciate that she had become the breadwinner in the house, and she began to do so much more on her own just to raise me and educate me, and all I did was disappoint her, and I disappointed her so much and so many times, but for some reason she's still always there, you know, because if I were a parent, I think that I would have been so angry and so heartbroken with my child that I would probably disown them, but she never gave up on me. She was always there, even when the bad times came. She was there. During that year, I wanted to get away from home. I wanted to get away from her, and I got into university, and I actually got a bursary, and I was so thankful. I was so grateful, and I worked so hard, and all I did with that bursary was shove it in my mom's face. I went to college for like 3 months, and I left. I ran away from home. I ran away from university. I began living on my own. I had no money. I had no job. I had nothing, and I left my mom all by herself. I came back to the city. I thought that I'm old enough to make my own decisions, and now that I realize it, I think I was the dumbest person that I ever knew, because I don't know what got into my mind to just sacrifice my whole life for a little bit of freedom, because it wasn't worth it. 4 years ago, I was studying. It's now 4 years later. I would have been a qualified teacher because I was studying education. And, sometimes I see my friends that I was in varsity with, and they look at me and they'll just be like, hi Chanel, how are you? So what you up to now? And like, all I can say is that I'm doing good, and I'm currently working, and all they have to respond back to me is tell me that, oh well, Chanel, it's actually my last year now, and I'm gonna graduate end of the year, and I'm just so relieved that university is over now, and I can start a whole new chapter in my life. And I mean, all I can do is just like congratulate them. Whereas that could have also been me. It's crazy to think about now. But 4 years ago, my mind was so small. I knew nothing. I literally knew nothing. And yeah, I mean, when you're young and you make these kind of mistakes, it affects you hugely. It really does. We only think about the moment and about being happy for the moment and enjoying life. But years from now, I mean, where do you want to be? I honestly didn't think that 4 years later I'm going to be sitting in front of a camera sharing my story with you. But it's just something that's like inspiring me to inspire you to just do better and to learn from your mistakes and to like be aware. Like, if you're gonna do this now, if you're gonna leave varsity now, what's gonna happen? Where you gonna be? What you gonna do? Like, do you have a plan B? Those are the questions that I refused to ask myself. In fact, it didn't even exist in my mind because I didn't care. I didn't care enough about myself. I didn't care about my mom, about what she's going through. I didn't care about anything. All I wanted was to enjoy life because I'm a teenager and I just wanted to enjoy my friends and company. And look where that's gotten me now. It literally took me nowhere. Those same friends I don't have now. I don't have my university degree. I'm living in a small apartment with many people, and I'm working. I can't even say a 9 to 5 because I'm working a 8:30 to 7 o'clock job. It's 9.5 hours of work, earning minimum wage. So this is the life that I chose 4 years ago because I didn't want to put in the work. I didn't want to be disciplined. I didn't respect myself or my upbringing or my mother or all the privileges that I had. I took everything for granted, and this is where I am now. And that's exactly where you're gonna be. And believe me, it's not a good feeling. That every night I would actually go to sleep with guilt in my mind. Because in fact, that bursary that I qualified for, when I just dropped out of varsity, my mother was left with the burden of paying back the university bursary. She's been paying it for the past 4 years, and she never not once asked me for a single cent towards it. That's how much of a mother she is. In fact, she's more than a mother. The kind of affection she shows after all the disappointment I put her through is just unimaginable sometimes. Because I mean, if I was her, I don't think I would even do anything for my child if my child had disappointed me to the extent, to the limit. But sometimes your parents just love you either way. And I mean, that was from 2021 to now, that was, well, not actually to now, but I can say from 2021 to maybe about 2022, that was my life, trying to figure it out and struggling and making bad decisions and just disrespecting everything that I had. And I'm sharing this with you because I don't want you to go through the same. Although if you do come out of the situation learning a very valuable lesson. However, when you're in that situation, all you want to do is just give up. And I'm so grateful that I never gave up. I went through my situations, I went through my bad phases that I put myself through. And in a way, I'm sharing it with you so that you can understand and relate to it. Like, would you want to go through the same thing? I don't think so. Anyways, I think that is enough for today's video. I'll just end this with one message. Whatever you're going through, I know it's not easy. I don't know what situation you're in. I don't know you, you don't know me. I'm just a random person. But whatever it is, you're gonna get through it. And there's gonna be many days where you think that you just can't go any further. Like, you're not gonna have the energy, the willingness. You're not gonna have any hope, any faith, nothing. And you just gonna wanna give up. I've been through that, and sometimes I still face those situations, but you have to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing forward, because one day you're gonna be the one to share your story, and there's definitely gonna be somebody out there that's gonna relate to it so much that they're gonna come out their situation, and it's just gonna be a whole repeat cycle. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, just never give up. 3 words mean everything when you have the correct mindset. Never give up. That's all it means. Yeah, so you guys can definitely stay tuned for part 2 of this video. I could carry on filming, but I just don't want it to be too long. But yeah, there will be a part 2. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, you can subscribe if you want, and like, and make sure to comment, like, what are you going through? Like, do you need any advice? Like, what situations are you facing? What lessons have you learned? Maybe somehow we can work together and build a sort of a supportive community on this channel, because like I said in the beginning, many people, I think, don't speak about situations like this very often, and it would be very beneficial to have these conversations, because people get affected by it emotionally, mentally, physically. It affects you from head to toe, every situation that you're going through. And like, I believe that mental health is very, very important, and we can't bottle up our emotions and our pains, our trauma, our fights that we're battling on our own. We can't lock it in ourselves, because it's just gonna stay locked, and it's just no light is gonna enter into it, so yeah, with that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and keep pushing forward no matter what. There is a God up above us, and He's there to listen. I'm here to listen, and yeah, thanks for watching. Anyways, if you've stuck through the entire video, I hope that you really find peace with yourself, with your surroundings, with your family, with whatever you're going through. And yeah, I'll see you